Back to Pine Tree State Restorations with the 1960 to 61 Remco Frogman. Now, a little history about Remco started in 1949. Two cousins, Ike Heller and Sol Robbins. They used to make some simple walkie talkies and they got into sophisticated remote control toys. 1960s was their heyday for Remco. And Remco, by the way, means remote control. That's a shortened term for what Remco means. And by 1971, Remco went bankrupt and got bought out by AHI Toy Company, and they made toys for 10 or 15, 20 years after that, like figures and stuff under the Remco name. But the heyday was 1960 when they made this. They made the Whirly Bird. They made all kinds of jet planes. They made pom pom guns. They made all kinds of stuff. 1960 was the best year for Remco, no doubt about it. I have three of these. Customer brought these in, and he wants one of them taking all the parts and make one good one. And they have issues, and I'll explain to you what goes on with them. They have a motor drive unit. Here's the drive unit right here. Obviously, it goes underwater, and obviously, water is going to get in it, and it's going to leak, and it's going to cause problems. What happens is this motor has a drain plug to drain the water out after you use it. It's sealed up. You can't get inside where the motor is without breaking it, getting this glue off, breaking this cap off. I did x-ray it with a high-powered flashlight. I could see inside there, and it almost looks like there's a couple of gears in there and the motor, because it doesn't run that fast. It runs pretty fast, but not as fast as it would with 4D batteries direct drive. So I'm thinking it's geared down. Why they geared it down, I'm not real sure why. But so what happens is people don't drain this out or clean this out, and the inside there, the motor and the gears can get rusty or gummed up, and it won't work. And that was the case with this. This motor it wouldn't even turn. So what I did was, since I can't take it apart, is I sprayed the inside with WD-40, swished it around a little bit, let it sit, blew it all out through this drain hole with low pressure air. Then I put some synthetic 10 weight oil in here and blew it out again. I did this 2 or 3 times to get it flushed out, cleaned out, and everything. And now, here's what it sounds like. She sounds pretty good. Before it was just squealing and clunking and making all kinds of weird noises. But when you get in the water and there's a load on that propeller, you won't have any of that vibration. That little bit of vibration is from this propeller shaft right here. So that holds 4D batteries. Another thing I discovered is the end cap that holds the batteries has an O-ring. And originally there was a little plastic piece that went in this slot, over that hole, and in that slot. Basically a real thin piece of plastic, like a piece of plastic off a Cool Whip lid. And it goes in these slots right there to keep that battery box door down and tight. Well, they're always gone. They're always missing. There wasn't a single one of them in all three of them. So I'm going to make one out of a Cool Whip lid. Basically, it has a hole in it and 2 ears, and all those ears do is just hold that cap from popping out the back. Grab it. Of course, it don't want to come off now. The flaps for his feet there, those can be adjusted straight or at an angle for him to dive or go straight. And then you got the marker buoy right here. And this here hooks on to the back of his head. There's an antenna sticking out with a hole on it. And you hook that marker buoy up to him, so if he goes too deep, you can pull him back up to the surface again and not lose him. This floats. It's got a weight in it and it floats on the surface. All right. And then he's got a scuba mask, helmet, walkie-talkie that goes on his hand. He's got a rubber band, M14 rifle, and then you got a bayonet that goes in his belt or goes on the rifle, or the rifle can go on him. And turn him around. And that's where the battery motor drive unit goes inside there. And like I say, most of the trouble you're going to have with this is the motor not working because they didn't drain it out and clean it out or spray anything in there to stop corrosion, and it sat for 30, 40 years and never ran. That's going to be the biggest problem you're going to have right there. That and cleaning all the contacts and getting everything working right, making that little strip to hold this in, because they're all gone. They're all lost. There's not a single one of those strips. I imagine they broke, and you put this in there and go to put this in the water, and I guarantee you this is going to come loose, pop out, batteries are going to fall out inside there, or it's going to leak water in there, a ton of water, and that's going to screw up your buoyancy because it's just semi-sealed up. I thought at first that this black plastic was something that somebody fixed, but apparently it's not. The factory did it to every single one of them. It's come off some of them, but they've done it to every single one. It looks like for some reason they just blobbed that on there from the factory. I don't know why, but that's what it is. Um, Pretty not too complicated, pretty easy fix. Like I say, you take this prop shaft out, and I polished it. It was rusty. This is a piece of medical tubing. It should be replaced, even though it's soft and everything, but it didn't really grab the shaft real tight. So you might want to replace that if you were going to use it. Like I say, the corrosion and the battery connections are the biggest problem. Getting everything clean, getting everything back together right, polishing the shaft, cleaning the contacts, everything. And of course, the problem with the motor on the inside. They made it so you can't seal that motor up when it's running. There's no way. That's why they put that drain plug on that motor. Is after you're done playing with it, you're supposed to tip it up and drain the battery box and the motor, completely drain them out and dry them out. Maybe set it in the sun, get them all dry, and then you'd be fine. I imagine a lot of kids didn't do that. Water sat in there and caused all kinds of havoc. So this is what you got to watch out for on these. Battery box corrosion. They leave batteries in it, it'd destroy it. So that's what it is. The 1960, 1961 Remco. We're going to finish this motor here by making that little plate to hold that in. The rest of it will get waxed. We'll wax all the plastic. That'll protect it with car wax. We'll get it all waxed up. We'll take all the best parts. We'll clean them all up. None of these are broken. We'll wax them. Wax the helmet. Get the body all waxed up. Get everything cleaned up on them. And then she'll be good as new. And the other two remaining Frogmen, he's going to give me for parts. So if I get another Frogman down the road and someone needs it repaired, I have that and I can fix it because I'll have two motor units and lots of spare parts. I got two complete Frogmans. So thanks again for watching Pine Tree State Restorations. At the end of this video, I'm going to paste the original video from 1960 for the Remco Frogman from Remco themselves. So hang on to the channel here and watch that original video of this toy in black and white from 1960. You will get a kick out of it. It is so cool. Thanks again for watching Pine Tree State Restorations, and we will see you soon.
I am the Remco Frogman. On land, a commando. With rifle, watch, crash helmet, and walkie-talkie. Frogman alert! Change to underwater gear. Spear gun. Weight belt with shark knife. Face mask. Aqua lungs. My orders. Explore shallow water with snorkel. My motor-driven propeller powers me. My flippers guide me. The deep dive. A dangerous assignment. New worlds. New adventure. Marker boy tracks me. Too deep. Too deep. Lifeline brings me to the surface. The realistic Remco Frogman is now available wherever fine toys are sold. $11.98 for both land and water. Remember, every boy wants a Remco toy, and so do girls.